Today's topic is a bit morbid, as you may have already inferred from the title. Does retiring early translate to an early demise? We're going to be looking at some of the research that is out there and discuss some ways you might be able to avoid this outcome for yourself. My name is Spencer Ford, CEO and Wealth Advisor with Conservative Financial Solutions. I'm also a certified financial planner professional. Let's get into today's video. Is there a correlation between retiring early and dying early? There have been several studies conducted over the years comparing the mortality rate of those who retire sooner than others. One study found that 58% of those who claimed their Social Security benefits at the age of 62 were alive at the age of 74, compared to 66% of those who did not claim benefits at 62. Which seems to indicate a higher mortality among early retirees. Another large U.S. population-based study found that early retirement was associated with increased mortality risk, and that each additional year of later retirement was linked to an 11% lower risk of all-cause mortality among healthy retirees. The association was consistent even after adjusting for socioeconomic or socio-demographic and health factors. Consistently, it was found that those who retire later, so 67 years of age or later, had significantly lower mortality risk compared to those who retired early at 62 or on time, which was considered 65 per the study. So is there a correlation between retiring early and dying early? The answer is yes, according to the information we just discussed. But why? Well, the first guess might be those people who are unhealthy or have short life expectancies to begin with would naturally retire early. And you could also expect them to die early. But don't forget, the study that we just discussed accounted for that. The study was adjusted for socio-demographic and health factors. Even those deemed unhealthy showed to have a 9% lower mortality if retiring 1 year later. So if health is accounted for, why do those who tend to retire earlier die earlier, and how can it be prevented? Well, one body of research I think we should take into consideration is blue zones. Blue zones are geographic areas where people are observed to live exceptionally long and healthy lives, often surpassing the age of 100. What's the common thread among these areas? Is it diet? Some of it's diet. Those in blue zones tend to eat whole food diets, limiting processed foods, but there are a variety of diets across different blue zones, so it's not all diet. Is it climate? Blue zones occur all over the world in different areas, so it isn't climate per se. It isn't even all about having the best genetics. The most common factors were natural movement and physical activity, strong social and family connections, a sense of community, and a sense of purpose. I tell families all the time, if you retire to the couch, you will pass away much sooner. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest, eventually, permanently. So make it a point to get up and move. Exercising is something we should be doing each day. There's a saying in the longevity community that the stronger live longer. Not only longer, but remain healthier later in life. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So get up and move. I also tell families that they need to retire to something, not from something. Don't just retire from your job. You need to have a plan in advance about where your sense of purpose is going to come from in retirement. Aside from providing you a paycheck, your job gave you purpose to make a living, to support yourself and your family, to have money to spend on the things you care about. For many of us, our job makes up a big part of our social life. How are you going to replace all of those things when you retire? Are you passionate about volunteering? Will you be watching the grandchildren? Will you get a part-time job? Will you start to garden, provide fresh produce for you and your family in the local food pantry? Will you join a pickleball or golf league to have both exercise and community at the same time? Will you join a small group? Will you sign up to learn a new skill to challenge your mind? Maybe you will pick up a new instrument, take painting classes, pottery, or sculpting. In my experience, the happiest and healthiest retirees are the ones who come in for a visit and say, I don't know how I ever had a full-time job. I'm busier now than I've ever been. They're out there enjoying life, exercising, and staying connected. The oldest person we serve is over 100 years old. She still enjoys playing dominoes and cards with her friends, as well as watching the Reds play ball games. We have families in their 70s, 80s that are still playing softball, golf, tennis, pickleball, and volleyball. They are active, a part of the community, and they have continued to create purpose for their lives, and they are thriving because of it. Unfortunately, I've also witnessed the opposite happen. The post-retirement blues is a real thing. Retirement, while exciting, is a big transition. There will likely be some sadness about leaving your old job behind, your routine, different relationships that you developed. That's natural. The way you work through that is by preparing for it ahead of time and doing all the things I mentioned before. Staying active, being a part of a community, and finding and creating purpose for your life. I've seen families not deal with this successfully, and their health quickly deteriorated and they passed away much sooner than expected. It's sad, and in many cases, it's avoidable. So please take this message to heart and think deeply about what you want your retirement to look like. Whether you are a few years out from retirement or you're knocking on the door or you're already retired, there's no better time to start than now. If you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe. Again, I'm Spencer Ford, and we'll see you in the next one.